welcome to or back to the channel. If you're new here, thanks so much for joining. My name is Misty and I am bringing you another episode of our GlobeTrotter challenge. And as you can see, we are here with Piper and Roman, and they have entered into the lovely world of Granite Falls. We have finally moved on from Strangerville and we are going to be moving into this new area and some new adventures with these two. So we are in this episode going to be going over what it is that we need to be doing for this challenge and what adventures they need to kind of be going over. So let's go ahead and change this to a new aspiration. We're going to go with the nature aspiration. We have to change it to the outdoor enthusiast now that we are here in Granite Falls. So let's go ahead and do that. And it says here that we need to harvest 10 unidentified plants, locate an unidentified plant and click harvest. And we need to catch 5 fish in Granite Falls. Click on a fishing signpost in Granite Falls to go fishing. And we need to catch 0 out of 5. So we need to catch 5 fish in Granite Falls. So those are the 2 things that we need to do for our first section. And let's go over the rules. Round 4 Granite Falls, spring and summer. Your sim finally makes it to Granite Falls. They wish to admire the nature, study herbalism, and go hiking. Aspirations to complete would be the outdoor enthusiast as the main. If we complete that, then we can go for angling ace as our secondary optional aspiration. It is best to travel to Granite Falls in the spring as the plants needed for the aspiration only spawn then, and all of them spawn in the summer, some of them in the fall and the spring. And it says here's a list of the plants just in case. And then don't forget to place the essentials on the rental lot before moving to the world. Perfect. Now, that being said, I didn't actually place anything on the rental lot because the only thing they really need is a tent. The rental lot has a grill, it has the bathrooms located nearby because I went ahead and did the campground, so we have everything that we need, so I didn't do all of that. But let's go ahead and jump into the game again. So as you can see, Piper and Roman are just here at their rental lot. There is a picnic table, there is a grill here. They have a horseshoe area where they can play horseshoes for fun. I am just going to go ahead and get Piper to go ahead and go take care of some of her needs, and then we're going to get her over here and we're going to buy some supplies. I do need to go ahead and get her to buy them a tent so that they do have a tent that they can sleep in. I did get them here vacationing for 7 days, and we will just go ahead once that 7 days is up and we will extend the vacation if we need to extend it, if they need more time because of her needing, well, more time based on how the aspiration is going, if she's meeting those aspirations or not. So we are going to go ahead and scroll through here through the camping supplies, and we're going to get them a tent. I don't think we really need anything else out of the camping supplies, so a tent is really the only thing that I'm going to purchase for them. And I'm not going to get them the cabin in a bag. I think that's just a little bit too expensive. I'm just going to get them the regular tent. And I think, also going to go ahead and get them a cooler. That way, if they want to store something in a cooler, they can store something. So we'll get them the Easy Camper tent and the cooler, and that will be great for them to have those things. And then later on, if we need to purchase a herbalism book, we can come back here and we can buy that later. But for now, I think I'm just going to go ahead and get those 2 items and call it a day. So as you can see, Piper is feeling extremely flirty. I don't really know why she's feeling so flirty other than the fact that obviously she is in this lovely place, this beautiful campground. She's with her husband. It's obviously a very different scenario and a very different scene from Strangerville with those crazy happenings. And I think she's just overall feeling a sense of peace here out in the great outdoors. And I think that she is just really feeling lucky that they are able to move on and have a little bit of a vacation together. She is going to go ahead now and set up their tent and their cooler and get them all squared away here so that they have a place that they can kind of call quote unquote home. And then we will have her go ahead and spend a little bit of time maybe with Roman. They are, oh Jesus, he's catching himself on fire. You know, he's an expert cook. He's got level 10 of his cooking, but he's not the greatest when it comes to roughing it and doing adventurous things. She has come out here. She's going to go ahead and just do a little bit of horseshoes, but I really think you might need to go to the washroom, Piper. So I am going to have her go over to the public washroom and just go and grab herself a little bit of a wee there. There are a bunch of plants in the area. I'm going to have her collect insects, collect plants, do things that will gather us some money because we are going to be here for a week's time. We do need to get things to make us money because we are going to be living here for at least a week to 2 weeks. And so whatever we can do to make money is what we are going to need to do to make money while we're out here. I don't necessarily know that I'm going to have her garden as far as plant a garden while we're out here because we are on public property, but she can dig up things, she can collect insects and we can sell those. We can gather treasure from dig sites and she can breed frogs and things like that. And obviously anything she scavenges and forages for, we can sell those items and hopefully that will make us some money. As you can see, Roman is just going ahead and getting some marshmallows in his system, which is great, but she is feeling a little bit hungry, so I am going to go ahead and get her to go on over here and to get something to eat because then she can get her hunger up. She is feeling seriously flirty, so maybe we can get her to spend a little bit of time with Roman at some point because she is seriously flirty. I think it has something to do with the fact that she is on her cycle, but let's go ahead and let her grab a serving of this food here. She is feeling pretty hungry. He is having a grand old time over here with these horseshoes. He is really not bothered by the rain. He's just having a good old time. He is loving the fact that they have made it finally out here to Granite Falls and they are out of Strangerville. As we know, he was seriously stressed, seriously tense over the fact that they were constantly in Strangerville and dealing with all of the craziness there. So this is a much slower pace area. Lot less tension, a lot more relaxed for him. I mean, he is feeling a little bit uncomfortable right now, but that's just because he burned himself at the fire pit. So the poor guy needs a little bit of rest and he is burned up. So he is feeling a little bit uncomfortable. We'll let him kind of take care of his needs. But she is just going to grab herself some food. She's catching some bugs. She is just, you know, trying to be in her element, and she is loving this new area and all of the things that she can see and collect. I am just having her go around and pick some plants here. She is harvesting and digging up some things in the area and looking for frogs and gathering some things so that we have some things that we can sell and make some money, because as we know, like I said earlier, we are going to be in this area for quite some time, so funds are going to be needed so that we can cook for ourselves, so that we can just survive in this area. So she is just taking advantage of the things that are in the area. Now, we do know that we have to harvest 10 unidentified plants, so I hope in this episode we do make a little bit of a dent in that. I don't think in this episode we will find all 10 of our unidentified plants. But at some point we will take her over into the woods and we will look in that area for some plants, because we probably will find what we need in this area and then we'll have to look in that area for some plants. And at some point also we will go fishing and see if we can get her to catch a couple of fish in the area so that she can knock off some of the fishing. And we will probably be able to meet majority, if not all, of catching the fish in Granite Falls in today's episode, because she has a pretty good fishing skill already just from when she was in Mount Komorebi. And so she's good at fishing. She should be able to, I would think, go ahead and max the fishing out for this area and meet that part of the aspiration already. But she is just going ahead and she's going to take some cuttings off of these plants, and then we'll get her going ahead and looking for some frogs, and then she can breed the frogs so that we can have some extra money. So she, as you can see, is just really having a good time here in Granite Falls. She thinks the scenery is beautiful. She is really loving the fact that they have made it here. She thinks to herself, oh, it took them so long to get here because they did get lost on the way the first time that they were trying to find their way to Granite Falls, and they ended up being sidetracked into Strangerville. So this place, this vacation spot was a long time coming for them, and You know what? Well worth the wait. Well worth it because it's beautiful. So let's go ahead. We're going to get her doing a little bit of fishing here. She's like, I have gathered everything that I need to gather in the area. And this water just looks so inviting to her. And so she wants to get a little bit of fishing in. She is feeling a little bit uncomfortable because she's feeling a little wet from all of the rain. But she just can't turn down a little bit of fishing. So she's going to fish for a little while, and then we'll probably head her back to the lodging so that she can go ahead and get some rest. Energy is going down pretty significantly, so we're just going to let her head on back. And she can get herself a little bit of sleep in the tent. Roman seems to have pretty decent needs, but she is in desperate need of some energy, and it looks like she could probably use a shower. So actually, while we're heading on over to this way, I'll probably get her to have a shower first. So we'll just stop here, take a quick shower, and then she can go to bed. She's like, why are you stopping me? I'm so tired. Okay, but Piper, go ahead, get yourself a quick shower, and then you can go get yourself some sleep. She's gonna go wash herself up, clean that nasty ass, and then get herself into bed. Claire Burgington's like, could you get out of the bathroom so I can go? She's taking her sweet time. She probably could stand to use a little bit of a meal as well, so I may get her to eat something before bed. It's funny how all of her needs have decided to get in a really bad place right before I'm trying to get her into bed. Let's go ahead and take her back to the lodging here, and then she can go ahead and grab herself a plate of food. I just don't want her to be hungry, so we'll go ahead and we'll get her to get something to eat really quick, and then I will put her into bed. And as you can see, Roman is going ahead and helping himself to some food as well. So they'll just grab a bite to eat together here, and then she can go ahead and go to bed. It is about midnight, so we'll probably put them both to bed at the same time. And then they can just get themselves some sleep for the night. Go ahead, Piper, sit down and have yourself some food. She's like, I have already eaten a little bit, but I will finish this plate, and then I'm getting some sleep in this tent. And Roman's like, how was your day, dear? And she's like, oh, it was so great. I got some bugs and I got some frogs. I did some fishing and some collecting. Oh, mosquito. And he's like, that's great news. And she's like, how did you do? And he's like, you know, I made a fire for us, and I did some marshmallows, and I burnt myself, and I did some horseshoes. It was overall a pretty good day, but I'm glad that you got some collecting done. So they're going to go ahead and they're going to head off to bed for the evening. He's just cleaning up after them, and then he's going to join her in the tent. And then maybe tomorrow these two will be able to spend a little bit of time together. They will probably do a little bit of horseshoes together, which will be cute to see them play together with the horseshoes, but they're going to get some sleep for the night. So it is the next morning. As you can see, Piper is up. She is in desperate need of the washroom. The food has gone off, so she is going to need to go ahead and grill up something. We know that she absolutely loves to grill things. So we'll have her go ahead and just cook up some food on the grill here. That way they will have something that they can eat. So she is feeling pretty uncomfortable this morning from this tent sleeping. It's not the best accommodations in the world, having to live in a tent. You know, she is, as you would think, should be used to that. Her whole life consists of her living in a tent. Maybe one day we could upgrade them to an RV living. But right now, they live in a tent. They've lived in a tent for as long as I can remember, and she should really be used to it. But she's feeling uncomfortable from living in a tent right now. But let's go ahead and get her to grab a serving here. We're just going to get her to have a bite to eat, and then I'll take her off to the washroom because she is in desperate need of one of those. And then we'll let her have a little bit of fun. I'll probably let her go ahead and play the horseshoes a little bit because of her needing some fun. So her and Roman can have a little bit of fun together with the horseshoes. And I think that will be great for them to have a little bit of time just spending together one-on-one. As we know, these two came out here to have a nice little vacation together. Obviously, she has some things that she needs to do, some goals that need to be met, and some aspirations that need to be done. But I also want them to spend time together. This is for them an adventure for the two of them, but also a vacation. And you know, she spent a lot of time in Strangerville away from him, a lot of time trying to figure out that mystery, and they didn't get to spend very much time together as a couple. So I do want them to have a lot of time here in Granite Falls as a couple, spending time together. I don't want it to be just about her grinding, and completely forgetting about the fact that she is part of a couple and that, you know, Roman needs to have her around. So we will be having them spend some time together. Piper has decided that she is going to go ahead and head off to the woods for a little while, and so let's go ahead and go to the woods. So now that we've made it out here to the woods, she is going to go ahead and look for some of the unidentified plants that she needs to have for her aspiration. So we are just going to look for those things. She will also look and see if there's anything that she can kind of dig up around the area, and look for anything that she can kind of forage or scavenge while she's out here. But we are going to just look in the area to see if there's anything that she can kind of gather. And while we're out here in the woods, obviously she's just looking to see if there's any goals that she can meet. We are just getting our grind on for this aspiration stage 1 here of the outdoor enthusiast, and Piper is really working hard. She knows that she wants to try to get this, you know, met as quickly as she can. She knows that there is a lot that there is to be seen out here in this place. Obviously, this land is beautiful and full of, you know, luscious greenery, and she's like, I've never seen anything so beautiful, and there's so much to explore out here. There's so much that she can see. There's so much that she can learn about this area. And so she just wants to know everything that she can about this area. So she is going ahead and picking these plants, and we are slowly gathering these unidentified plants that she will obviously need to identify at some point, which will, I think, go ahead and get her herbalism up, which we love because that will probably be part of our second portion of this goal in this aspiration for the outdoor enthusiast. But we are just going ahead and cutting some cuttings, or taking some cuttings off the plants around the area, and she's gathering some insects, and we're just getting as much as we can. And oh my gosh, she got stink bombed in the face. Oh, Piper, you poor thing. Oh my goodness, she is just really having a rough go of it out here. She's kind of feeling a little bit gloomy. I think I will probably go ahead and let her go back to her lodge so that she can spend a little bit of time with Roman. I think that she is realizing that even though she's having fun out here, she's loving being out in the woods, she's loving doing all of these things and adventuring and gathering and being out here in nature, she's also kind of missing the fact that she's not really with Roman. She's not really seen a whole lot of him since they've been here, and she is a gloomy sim. She does want to be with him. She wants to spend time with him. And so I think after she goes ahead and she does this collecting of this last plant, I'm probably going to go ahead and send her back to the lodge so that she can be with her husband, because she needs some fun, she needs some social, and I think that she just really needs to spend some time with Roman. They need to be able to have a little bit of time together because she is really feeling sad right now. She's also got a foul stench, whew, that smells awful, and an irksome itch. What a nasty burning sensation from, you know, the plants that she has been gathering. So unfortunately, she is really have some overall sadness going on that we are going to need to overcome. So let's go ahead now and just let her finish this harvesting and get her sent on home so that, well, I say home. Let's get her sent back to the lodging so that she can spend some time with Roman. Poor dear. I just hate it when she gets gloomy, but we know Piper really does struggle with her mental health and with being gloomy. She has since she was in Mount Komorebi. This is just part of her personality, and unfortunately it is something that Piper has to deal with from time to time, is her depression. So sadly, this is just the way of her life. But she is gathering up these last little bit of plants here in the area, and we're going to go ahead and send her off to the lodge. We've made it back to the lodge, and as you can see, she is going to go ahead and just give Roman a nice big hug. She's so glad to see him. she has really, really missed him. She's gonna serenade him and just tell him how much she loves him, how much she adores him, and he obviously is smitten with her. These two have such a deep bond with one another, and their romance is so very strong. And as we know, they continue to grow stronger and stronger as the days passed. As we know, in Strangerville, they did reaffirm their devotion to one another, and they were obviously in a place where they had kind of gotten into a position where they kind of were fighting a little bit over the fact that there was someone that tried to kind of come in between them, and he was really, really jealous over the fact that someone would try to do that because he wanted her to only have eyes for him. And she told him, you know, you're the only one for me. You're always going to be the only one for me. You're the only person I ever want to be with. And she reaffirmed that devotion to him, and ever since then, these two have been inseparable, and their love is obviously withstanding the test of time and the test of others. So these two have the really strong relationship, and I think that everything that they go through and all of the adventures that they go through only makes their love stronger. They are now just going to play a little bit of horseshoes together and get their fun up. They have obviously had a little bit of time to have some socialization, and they were able to, you know, just tell each other how much that they've missed one another. And he was like, I am so glad that this place is different from Strangerville, and that you're not going to spend all of your time away, and that you're actually going to spend some time with me. Strangerville was a place that I understood that you had a mission to complete, but I really got to where it was a time for me that I dreaded it. Waking up every day and you weren't there was miserable for me. So knowing that you're going to be around and you're going to be here spending time with me here in Granite Falls means so much to me, because I hate it when we're separated. I hate that I don't get to spend time with you, because you're the love of my life and I want to be around you. I want to obviously see you and spend time with you. And I may not be able to help you meet your aspirations and your goals, but I do want to. I want to try to help you do that. And I want to be supportive of you and your dreams and your adventures. And she's like, oh, I want you to be a part of my dreams and my adventures as well. And I want you to help me do those things. So these two are obviously getting their fun up. They're getting their social up. They're getting obviously so much closer in the understanding that they are on the same page when it comes to what they want out of their goals and their dreams and their life. So the two of them are just finishing up their game of horseshoes, and she is going to go ahead and instigate a little bit of love with him. I think they are going to go ahead and have themselves a little bit of a woohoo and do a little bit of, you know, intimate time together, just because it has been a little while since they have been intimate. Obviously, they haven't been intimate since Strangerville. I know that doesn't seem like a very long time, but these two obviously are very, very much in love and would definitely want to have some alone time together. So we are going to go ahead and allow them to just have a little bit of time in their tent where they can love on one another and just be together. They didn't spend any time together the evening before, for the simple fact that they were in a new place, and she had been working so hard trying to meet her milestones here and gathering and things like that, and so they got into bed really, really late. Gonna go on over there, and she's gonna instigate some lovin' with her hubby, and she's feeling really, really flirty. So she's like, I just want to woohoo with Roman. Like, I just want to love on him. I want to show him how much he means to me, and I want him to know that, you know, he is my all, my everything, my world. So they are going to go ahead and go over to this tent and have some alone time and just be together. Look at him. He's like, yes, my dear. As he jumps in behind her. When the tent's a rockin', don't come a knockin'. And once they are done with their woohoo, we will go ahead and let her go and get a little bit of food They are both feeling a little bit hungry, I believe. Well, actually, I think Roman's probably okay, but she is feeling a little bit hungry. So we'll go ahead and get her to grab a serving of food here and get a little bit to eat. And then once she's done with that, we're going to go ahead and let her go fishing for a little bit. So now that she's over here fishing, I want her to go fishing up until I have to make her go to the lodging area so that she can go and relieve her bladder. I don't know how long she's going to be able to last, but I would like to get her fishing for as long as possible. I want her to catch as many fish as she can so that we can try to meet that goal of catching the 5 fish in Granite Falls, but I probably will at some point have to let her go ahead and stop fishing so she can go to the washroom. And if that's the case, then obviously she can continue fishing in the morning. She is probably about to wee herself, so we will go ahead and let her do that. She has this bear that's come up and is trying to strike up a conversation with her, and she's just like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, honestly, I don't even know who you are. But she has caught 3 out of the 5 fish, so I'm going to go ahead and let her stop fishing. We are going to take her over to the lodging area now so that she can go and use the washroom, because she has seriously got to go to the loo. Like, really badly is about to pee herself. So let's go ahead and take her over and let her go to the washroom. Okay, Piper, let's go. Run. Can you make it? Hopefully she can make it over there without peeing herself. So she is just going to go ahead and run over here to the washroom, and then she can relieve her bladder. And it is like 1:45 in the morning. So after she goes to the washroom, then we'll go ahead and we'll let her get a little bit of rest. And then in the morning, she can go ahead and finish doing a little bit more fishing. I think she'll be able to complete that goal of catching the 5 fish in Granite Falls in this episode. And then the only thing she'll need still to do for this part 1 of the aspiration of the outdoor enthusiast is to do the remainder of the harvesting the unidentified plants, which obviously is going to take us a little bit of time because we have to wait for them to grow back now that she has harvested some in the woods and around here. So that is going to take us a little bit of time just to wait for those to come back in the area. So in the meantime, we will just have to spend some time with Roman and just enjoy our time out here doing our vacation things, which is playing horseshoes and just relaxing and enjoying the time that we are out here together. So let's go ahead and let her get some rest. So it is about 4 o'clock in the morning. As you can see, Roman is up. He has desperately got to go to the washroom. He's having a bit of a shower first. So he's showering and using the washroom, and then I'm going to have him go ahead and get himself something to eat. His needs are in pretty rough shape. So he's just taking care of himself here while Piper gets a little bit of sleep. He is, as you can see, a little bit off schedule here as far as his routine goes. And his days and his nights are kind of all wonky right now. I don't know if he's got some kind of jet lag or what the deal is, but he is really struggling with his schedule of sleep. And Piper is clearly not having the same problem that he's having. But he is doing his best to try to, at least take care of his needs. And so we're just going to let him go ahead and finish up using the washroom here, and then he is going to go over to the grill and cook up something to eat for himself. He's being unfortunately attacked by all of the mosquitoes in the area, and he's thinking, I don't know why we didn't come a little bit more prepared. We didn't get bug spray. We didn't get all of these kind of items that you would kind of think that you would need for this area. He's feeling a little bit uncomfortable from being stung by the mosquitoes, but overall, he is really enjoying his time out here with Piper. He's enjoying the fact that they've come out here together to have this beautiful adventure together, and he is loving that they are at least out of Strangerville, because it is definitely something that he wanted. And this area is beautiful. Even though he has to contend with the bugs, it's better than what he had before. So Piper is just getting a little bit of her sleep finished up here while he gets some food in. And once he's done with eating, I'm going to go ahead and send him out on a jog, I think. and let him just get a little bit of exercise in. And then we will let her get up and grab herself a shower and some food. Then we will send Piper out on a run as well. As we know, Piper does like to exercise, and she picked up a love for running while she was in Strangerville. So we will let her continue on that path of getting a jog in sometime during this episode as well, because she absolutely loves jogging, and I don't want her to lose that love of her exercising, because I think it really does make her feel energized, and overall it's really good for her mental health, especially her being a depressed or a gloomy sim and her having those bouts of depression that she goes through. I think that her going out on jogs is going to be really healthy for her. So we will let her continue on with that trend. So she is just going to go ahead, have herself a quick bite to eat, and then get herself a quick shower. And then we're going to continue on with our day of fishing and going out for a little bit of an exercise. She's going to go and just view that big, huge statue over there and just appreciate this area, because it's not an area that she has really had a chance to kind of take in. She's been so busy gathering and focused on gathering all of the stuff in the area, all of the plants and the rocks and the bugs, and doing all of the scavenging that she's been doing, that she hasn't really taken time to look at the scenery, look at the artwork in the area, and those kind of things. So I want her to go ahead and appreciate the art, appreciate the wood sculptures and things like that. So she is going to just go ahead and view that art sculpture over there and just really take this whole area in and really appreciate it and its beauty for what it's worth. So Piper is just going to go over here, like I said, and have a look here at this sculpture, and she's like, oh my god, that is the most beautiful sculpture I have ever seen. I don't know how they were able to make that so massive, but that is such a amazing work of workmanship. Like, whoever was able to sculpt that did a fantastic job. And so she's quite impressed with the quality of workmanship of that piece of work. So I am just going to go ahead and get her to go on over to the fishing hole, and we're going to have her continue on with her fishing, and then she can harvest some more things in the area and look for some more frogs. But then we are going to take her out for a jog, because I do, like I said, want her to get a little bit of exercise in for her mental health for the day. She does need to get in at least 2 more fish, because she needs to catch 5 fish in Granite Falls, and she's already done 3 out of 5. That bloody bear is back again. Like, that bear is everywhere you go. Everywhere you go, that bear is just, it's everywhere. But Piper is, as you can see, really working hard at fishing, and she's not doing a very good job. She's catching all the weeds in the area, and all of the debris from the fishing hole is what she is kind of getting currently. But what we want is fish, Piper. We need you to catch some fish. There's got to be some fish in this watering hole that you can catch. And she's like, I'm doing my damnedest to do that. If you would just give me a minute, I'm going to catch something. I can just feel it in my bones. She is just really enjoying this fishing. It's very relaxing and cathartic for her. And look at that massive fish she just caught. Holy hell. Alright, we are at 4 out of 5 fish caught in Granite Falls. You just need to catch 1 more fish, Piper, and you will have done it. You will have maxed out. You'll have met this goal of catching 5 fish in Granite Falls, and then the only thing you're going to need to do is obviously continue on with harvesting 10 unidentified plants in the area. And just, are you going to be able to do it? And she's like, I think that I can. I know that I have it in me to go ahead and catch this last fish. And just like that, Piper gets her last fish that she needs, and we have met that goal for that aspiration. I'm going to go ahead and let her stop and continue on about her business. We're going to go ahead and go harvest a plant and look for another frog, and then we're going to send her on a little bit of a jog. She has read a couple of frogs, so we have plenty of things that we can sell in our inventory, which is fantastic news. we're making pretty good money. We have 1,223 simoleons to our name right now, which is great because we know that we need the money to live. And so we are doing pretty good in this area. I think that, we're making better money here, obviously, than we did in Strangerville. There was not a lot of things in Strangerville that she was able to make money off of, whereas here we're able to scavenge and forage and find lots of things that we can sell. But I am going to just go ahead and send her on a little bit of a jog. Piper has recently got a message that she was losing her active lifestyle, so we do want her jogging to make sure that she is really keeping that lifestyle and she is continuing on with her energetic, active lifestyle. So we're going to let her do a little bit of jogging. It's going to be good for her body. It's going to be good for her mind. It's going to be good for her energized levels. And she's going to feel so much better about herself. But guys, I am going to go ahead and leave this episode here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when new episodes go live on the channel. And I will see you guys in the next Globetrotter Challenge episode. And until then, I am going to go ahead and fly for now. Bye, Ravens.